Hi! Welcome back. For most of you, it will probably be welcome because this is only my second video here on YouTube. And if you don't know me, my name is Maya and I am originally a book talker where I mainly post reaction videos to my books. So this is kind of new to me, but I have so much to say about the books I'm reading. So hopefully you will follow along for this journey. What other way to start that than by talking about some of my 2025 hopefuls. I have a seriously long physical TBR and my goal this year is to cut down my physical TBR by at least 1/3. I think I have around 140 unread books. So I need to at least read 46 of my physical copies this year. And that's without me buying new ones, which I will most likely be doing anyway. So yeah. I think I will be talking about 10 books that I have like super high on my TBR because some of them have just been sitting on my shelf for too long and some of them have been so hyped up recently and I have been dying to get into them. So this year I will finally hopefully do it. I am such a mood reader. I can't stick to a TBR for the life of me, so that's why I have hopefuls. So enough of me babbling, let's jump into my 2025 hopefuls. The first book is The Crimson Moth by Kristen Ciccarelli. This book actually has two names. I think it's called The Heartless Hunter in the US, but in the UK it's called The Crimson Moth. And this is actually the Fairyloot edition, so that's why it has a different cover than the book normally does. This is the original cover. I have been seeing this book everywhere and everyone I know that has read it absolutely loves it. So this year I really want to dive into this story and get to know all these characters. And I know that the second book is coming out this year, so it's perfect to start this book now. I have been so good at keeping myself away from spoilers. I normally enjoy a story so much more if I know nothing about the book. But I will read the blurb for you, and that is: she was the Crimson Moth, a wanted criminal, not to mention a witch, hiding in plain sight. But this wouldn't be the first time she walked into a space full of the people who hunt her kind. She'd done it hundreds of times before without batting an eye. So why was there a tiny seed of fear sprouting inside her? Oh my god. I haven't read that before. I never read blurbs, but for this video I will be reading all of the blurbs of the books I am hopeful about reading this year. And this sounds so exciting. I know this is a YA. I don't actually think I read the blurb. I think this is the Fairyloot blurb because I think the blurb is actually inside here. Maybe I should read that. But I actually think that was enough for me to get really excited about this book. I do hope this is an enemies to lovers kind of vibe. I know it's a YA, so I'm expecting no spice, but I am hopeful about a little steam at least, or a slow burn, because a slow burn is so freaking amazing. So yeah, that's The Crimson Moth, or Heartless Hunter as it's called in the US. And I just have to tell you, like, how gorgeous is this Fairyloot edition. Like, these end papers, not to talk about under the dust jacket, like, oh my god, it's so gorgeous. I will not be reading this copy, so I will be downloading it on my Kindle or maybe even buying the physical copy because I think I want to annotate it. Next up, we have another fantasy book that has been going viral for a couple of months, and that is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. I have been so afraid of this book because look how thick she is, and look at the sprayed edges. Like, oh my god, they are gorgeous. But anyhow, this book is thick and it's just the first book in the series. I have been putting this one off as well because I know the second book comes out this year and I'm just not in the right headspace to read a book that maybe ends on a cliffhanger and the second book is not out. I have only heard great things about it, so my hopes are really freaking high and I will be so sad if this disappoints me. But for the blurb. As an assassin for the rebellion, Rave's job is to complete orders and never get caught. When a rival bounty hunter shatters her world, Rave finds herself captured by the Guild of Nobles, a group of powerful fae. Oh, exciting! We have fae. I knew we had dragons, but I didn't know we had fae. I should have known because she has pointed ears in this picture, but I haven't studied it. Oh, she has shackles as well. Oh my god, okay, wait. Crushed by the loss of his great love, dragon rider Khan Vagor, is that how you say it? Took the head of the king and donned his melted crown. Now on a tireless quest to quell the never-ending ache in his chest, a clue lures him into the capital's high-security prison, where he stumbles upon the imprisoned Rave. To Together they seek truths that threaten to unravel everything they knew about their world and each other. Oh, okay. Oh my god. My initial thought is I love that we have dragon riders. Like, oh my god, that's so exciting. I don't think I have actually read another book with dragons. Well, yes, I have. It's been a long time. No, that's not true either. I freaking love dragons in books, so this will be really, really exciting. I hope it's as good as everyone says. Now, this book has been sitting on my TBR for 1.5 years, and one of my favorite book creators, she is living, breathing, and dying for this series. I bought it because of her, and I have been so excited to read it because of her, but I haven't gotten to yet because it's a 5-book series. I don't know if it's finished, to be honest, but it's no other than Magnolia Parks by HIIIGH. I have seen so many different opinions about this series. Some people hate it and some people love it. I have a feeling I will like it, but apparently this is like a heartbreaking, more tragic version of Gossip Girl, but in London, I think. I have been so good at not spoiling myself all of these books. Hopefully none of you will spoil anything in the comments because that will break my heart. For the blurb, do we have a blurb? How many loves do you get in a lifetime? She is a beautiful, self-involved and mildly neurotic London socialite. He is Britain's most photographed bad boy who broke her heart. But Magnolia Parks and BJ Ballantyne are meant to be, aren't they? Yeah, so there we have like the not expecting a romance part. But is that the entire blurb? Wait, I will have to go on Storygraph and check. Okay, wait, here it's more. But Magnolia Parks and BJ Ballantyne are meant to be, and everyone knows it. They're in the stars, just suspended in a strange kind of love that looks like hurting each other a lot of the time. She dates other people to keep him at bay. He sleeps with other girls to get back at her for it. But at the end of their every sad endeavor to get over one another, it's still each other they crawl back to. But their dysfunction is catching up with them, pulling at their seams and fraying the world they've built. A world where neither has to ever let the other go completely. As the crack starts to show and secrets begin to surface, Magnolia and BJ are finally forced to face the formidable question they've been avoiding all of their lives. How many loves do you really get in a lifetime? Okay, that's really, really freaking exciting. But the mood boards you have on Storygraph says it's 85% emotional, 50% tense, and 48% sad. Well, this is gonna be interesting. I am really looking forward to diving into the Magnolia Parks and Daisy Hates universe this year. This next book is probably one of the books I will be reading like really, really soon. Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco is the first book in the spin-off series from Kingdom of the Wicked, and Kingdom of the Wicked is a series that got me into reading again almost 2 years ago, and I just freaking love it. It has a special place in my heart. So when I saw that this book was releasing back in 2023, I just had to get it. It's been sitting on my shelf for over a year. I got it for my birthday from my sister, and then I just didn't read it because I wasn't in a mood. But at the same time, that made me just never pick it up. This is classified as a new adult, so I will be expecting good spice. If not, I will be sad. So, the blurb. A dark prince battling an impossible curse. The Prince of Envy has never claimed to be a saint. But when a cryptic note arrives signaling the beginning of a deadly game, he knows it will take more than a hint of sin to win and save his falling demon court. Though none of his meticulous plans prepare him for her, the frustrating artist who ignites his skin like no other. Oh yeah! Okay, let's continue. A mysterious artist with secrets of her own. A fact Miss Camilla Antonius learns after one of Waverly Green's most notorious rakes attempts to blackmail her. To avoid a ruinous scandal, Camilla must enter a devil's bargain with Envy. Oh my god! Unaware, his game will awaken her true nature. Oh! Interesting. One last chance to be set free. Together, Envy and Camilla embark on a perilous journey through the underworld, from glittering demon courts to the sultry vampire realm and beyond, while trying to avoid the most dangerous trap of all, falling in love. Oh my god, I am so excited! Oh my god, I think this is the book I'm most excited to read this entire year. And if this is a letdown, I don't know what to do. I will quit. I will rage quit. So, yeah. I own 2 copies of this book and I haven't even read it. Moving on. I first read a book from this author in December and I instantly wanted to read all of her other books, and that's LYHFML, and especially Bride. A friend of mine read this when I was with her this summer and she was giggling and cackling, and I was so envious of her because I wanted to read it and I didn't bring the book. And I just sat there reading my own book and feeling so left out. But then I came home and my mood to read the book was over, so yeah, Bride. Okay, so a vampire bride and an alpha werewolf form a dangerous alliance in this enthralling new paranormal romance. Misery Lark, daughter of a powerful vampire councilman, is an outcast. Her days of living anonymously among the humans are over. She has been called upon to uphold an alliance between the vampires and their mortal enemies, the Weres. Weres are ruthless and unpredictable, and their alpha, Lo Morland, is no exception. He rules his pack with absolute authority, but not without justice or feeling. It's clear from the way he tracks Misery's every movement that he doesn't trust her. If only he knew how right he was. Oh, okay, so it's a mystery. Misery has her own reasons to agree to this marriage of convenience, reasons that have nothing to do with politics or alliances, and everything to do with the only thing she's ever cared about. And she is willing to do whatever it takes to get back what's hers. Oh, Hazelwood unleashes her sparkling voice and wit on a paranormal Romeo and Juliet. Ah! Okay, I am so excited for Bride. I feel like I'm gonna wish this book was bigger and thicker. No, my lighting! Come on. No. That's not it. I feel like I'm gonna be wishing this book was thicker once I start reading it, but I am super excited about this. I don't know if I will wait until closer to fall to reading this. We'll see. I think I'm in a fantasy mood now this winter, so hopefully it will continue like that. Jumping into a completely different genre, or it's not completely different, but it's more a dystopian series I have had on my shelf for, yeah, probably 1.5 years as well. It's the Shatter Me series. The same friend of mine who read Bride this summer, she recently finished this entire series and she devoured it. Like, literally devoured it. I don't think I've seen her read a series as fast as she did with Shatter Me. I am so excited to jump into this series, and I recently got the US editions because they are floppy. And if there's one thing you should know about me, that is I don't break the spines of my book ever. Like, I spine train and I will rather my hands cramping than my spine breaking. So if it's a floppy book, I'm gonna buy it. I need a more variety of book boyfriends, so adding a blonde book boyfriend to the mix will definitely be it for 2025. Okay, the moon understands what it means to be human, uncertain, alone, created by imperfections. No one knows why Juliet's touch is fatal, but the re-establishment has plans for her, plans to use her as a weapon. But Juliet has plans of her own. After a lifetime without freedom, she is finally discovering a strength to fight back for the very first time, and to find a future with the one boy she thought she'd lost forever. I guess that's not Aaron Warner. Is this a Dane situation? Because, yeah, you kind of get a really big clue on what type of books I prefer, because these are all books I will probably love, every single one of them. Knock on wood, because if not, I will be really, really sad. The Right Move by Liz Tomford. Oh my god. The first one, Mile High, that was the first book in a really, really long time that had me so hooked that I stayed up until 6 a.m. to read. And everyone says that this one is better than the first. So to say I'm excited is an understatement, because oh my god, I can't wait to dive into this book. I have already made tabs and categories. I am ready. I am ready. The only thing stopping me from reading this book is that I don't know if I want to do a reaction video of this or if I want to do a reading vlog with this book. I have a feeling I will have strong reactions during this book, so it would have been fun to do a reaction video. Comment down below if you do prefer one thing over the other when it comes to this series, and I'll see what I'll be able to do. So, Ryan. I've just been promoted to captain of the Devils, Chicago's NBA team, and the last thing I need is a distraction of my sister's best friend moving into my apartment. But when the team's general manager accuses me of being a lone wolf with no work-life balance, I might just have the perfect solution. I'll pretend to date! Isn't forced proximity And a fake dating romance? Oh my god, okay. I'll pretend to date my outgoing, emotional, way too tempting roommate. The only problem, faking it with indie feels far too natural. I am already giggling. Indie. I never imagined I'd be living with NBA celebrity Ryan Shea, let alone acting as his adoring girlfriend. Still, I do need a date for an upcoming wedding where everyone I know, including my ex-boyfriend, will be in attendance. But falling for my uptight flatmate was never part of the deal, especially when he keeps reminding me he doesn't believe in love. Was sharing a roof with Ryan really the right move after all? Oh my god, oh, I am so excited for this book. It's weird, I have goosebumps all over my body after reading the blurb, and I don't know why. It's so depressing here in Norway now because it gets dark at 4 p.m. I go to work when it's dark and I go home from work when it's dark. So I guess I'll be reading this one sooner rather than later because I need something lighthearted and easy to read. I feel like the great thing about not having read for almost the entirety of my life and then 2 years ago just picking up a book and start to read and everything just exploding is that I have a lot of good books to read. In my last video I talked about Heartless by Elsa Silver and I told you that I have only read the 3 first books in the Chestnut Springs series and that I was really excited for 2025 because I will be reading a lot of her books, I think, because I love her writing style and it's such a depressing winter time in Norway right now. I feel like the entirety of the Chestnut Springs series is on my 2025 hopefuls, but at least Reckless, the 4th book in the Chestnut Springs series. I have only heard great things about this book. Like, I don't think I've heard a single bad thing about this book ever. I have spoiled myself a little bit with this book, but this is a spoiler I'd rather know than not know before going into the book. So I think it's okay. Theo Silva, rowdy bull rider, notorious ladies man, scorching hot trouble wrapped up in a drool-worthy package. And he's looking at me like I might be his next meal. Oh, winter! I'm almost free of my toxic marriage and have sworn off men entirely. So all I see when I look at Theo is a temptation served up with a heaping side of heartbreak. The man is hard to trust and even harder to resist. Oh yeah, I get that. If my imagination does him any good, then I get you, Winter, I so do. Make that impossible, because Theo is persistent, and no matter how hard I try to freeze him out, he melts my icy exterior and pulls apart all my defenses. Then I spend the singular hottest night of my life with him! Sorry. Then I spend the singular hottest night of my life with him. It was supposed to be a one-time thing. A secret, but that little plus sign is going to make this secret impossible to keep. Yeah, okay, so the spoiler I knew is already on the blurb, and I think that's great because a surprise pregnancy trope for me, I don't like it when it's a surprise pregnancy. I feel like I like it more if I know there will be a surprise pregnancy. I am so looking forward to seeing Theo as a dad. Oh, yeah. The man is hard to trust and even harder to resist. Yeah, I get that. The next 2 books I don't have physical copies for because they are not out yet. The second to last book I'm really excited for is the new King of Envy by Huang. It's the 5th book in the Kings of Sin series. And she has said on her socials that she is going back to her morally gray characters. And I have been missing her morally gray characters so much. I am so excited. I have already pre-ordered it and it comes out in April. Yeah, to say I'm excited is an understatement. So let's find the blurb on Storygraph. He had everything he could have wanted except her. Dangerous, powerful, reclusive. Vuk, is that how you say it? Vuk Markovic is notorious for shunning human interactions. The scarred billionaire rarely talks and he has no interest in a relationship outside his small but trusted circle. His only exception? Her. The beauty to his beast, the object of his obsession. Oh my god. He saw her first, he wanted her first, but now she's engaged to his oldest friend, and the closer the wedding looms, the more he's torn between loyalty and desire. Oh yeah, this is gonna be morally great. She should be his, and he might just risk it all to have her. Beautiful, successful, glamorous. To the world supermodel Ayana Kidane. I don't know how you pronounce these names. Ayana Kidane leads the perfect life. Her career has skyrocketed and she's engaged to one of New York's most eligible bachelors. What people don't know is that the engagement is only a business arrangement. He gets his inheritance when they marry. She gets the money she needs to leave her abusive agency. Pretending to be in love should be easy until she finds herself increasingly drawn to her fiance's enigmatic best man. Vuk thrills and terrifies her in equal measure. She knows she should stay away, but when her wedding is thrown into chaos, he's the only person who makes her feel safe. Until his past catches up with them and threatens everything they love. That was a long description. I could have gone without half of that. So, publication date, April 29th, 2025. So, almost May. Oh, it's a long time until then. I can wait. I have a lot of good books I can read in the meantime. On that note, books I can read in the meantime. I am filming this on January the 7th, and that means it's 2 weeks until Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros releases. I just reread both Fourth Wing and Iron Flame back in November, and to go through those two books again without having the third book within my hands to continue the story was torture. Like, oh my god, what I would do to get an arc of Onyx Storm right this second. Oh, yeah, I am desperate. I am seriously desperate to get Onyx Storm in my hands. I have so many theories and I have so many things I really want to happen, but at the same time I really don't want to happen. But there's 5 books and I am not sure how she will manage to continue this story for 3 more books without it turning into information dumping or unnecessary parts. I will not be reading the blurb for Onyx Storm. I'm so sorry, but that's one book I will go into entirely blind. I will not spoil anything. I have not read anything she has been posting about like previews or sentences from the book. I have not read anything. Going in completely blind with Onyx Storm will be the highlight of 2025. Second, the minute, the hour it comes out, I will probably be reading it. Oh my god, I hope the book is long. I can check how long it is. 512 pages. That is not actually that long. Wait, how long was Iron Flame? The UK Trader paperback is 626 pages and the UK paperback Onyx Storm will be 544. So, oh, that's sad. No, wait. One is 640 and one is 544. I hope the one that's 640 pages is the one that's correct, because I will be injecting this book into my veins. I can deal with that. I'm so excited anyway, so yeah, I'm babbling. I will probably cut this out, but if I don't, then yeah, I yap a lot. So if you do enjoy some yapping about books, then follow along, because I will be posting more YouTube content in the future and I will be posting regularly on TikTok as well. So follow along, like and subscribe if you do enjoy the content I post, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye!